Oh, good. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
What up, everybody? We all back.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Rotate your phone to begin the way I had it fucking set up. Hey guys, we're trying Twitch this week. It's not going great so far.
Pause for technical interference here.
It's fine. I have to share everything anyway.
All right.
Make sure I don't reshare it to the Geek Chic page like I did.
Sorry to anybody who was just watching that portion of the stream. We're getting there. We're learning. It's a learning curve, guys.
Okay.
Hey,
Here we are.
We're on Facebook and we're on Twitch. Yay!
I needed to make a wider stance with the tripod.
We haven't even started drinking yet.
Okay.
You could tag me as well.
Okay. Okay, we got it, guys.
Woo! Alright, so Beth, you want to scooch in closer to...
I'm coming. I'm scooching.
Come on,
pretend I
scooch.
like you and
Yeah.
stuff.
Loves.
Now that she's not sick anymore, I'll sit next
know.
to her. I wouldn't sit next to her the other week.
Yes.
Chris took one for the team.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Nerd Rage Whiskey Wednesdays. We have our last Apple whiskey of the week.
Well, the month.
Of the month? What am I talking about? I have not even
We have not even started drinking
All
it,
right,
guys.
so cheers to my lovely
It's very
ladies.
hot. It's heat madness,
Yes.
guys.
It's heat madness.
This
Cheers.
is heat madness. It's over 100
Happy
degrees
October.
here.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Woo. It's our last apple cider whiskey that we have.
Woo.
Our third different brand.
Yes, that we're not mentioning
That we're
until
not mentioning.
until they sponsor us.
But it's delicious.
For later on, we also have, because we've talked about fall flavors, we have an array of candy corn, since I have not had them since I was a child, and Chris loves them, and I wanted to know the difference. We also have a pumpkin spice latte for the ladies that don't like pumpkin spice lattes.
I mean, I've had them. I don't hate them as much as she does,
Yes,
is
she-
my point.
She has some rage about it. All right, should we taste test, or should we go right into what we want to nerd rage about this week?
Let's do a little taste testing.
Little taste test? Okay, so this is the OG, the original candy corn, which Beth refuses to eat.
I won't. I will
and
not
Chris
eat these.
has
I am
been
an adult
eating
human
so much.
who has the right to not eat a thing she knows is very gross.
But I've been nibbling on them ever
Okay,
since.
so
I know.
before
We've been
I
trying to
eat
get her to
this-
stop eating
Before I
them.
eat this, because I don't remember, what are the flavors that I'm looking for, Chris? Like, what am I looking
looking
for on my
for
palate?
White, orange, and yellow. Like,
Yes.
they're not
You're looking for
flavors.
a
You're looking
delicate
for sugar.
A sugar flavor, like
Delicate
that,
sugar
that
flavor?
excellent
Yes.
corn
I don't
syrup.
like the white part. I do like the orange and the yellow.
Okay, so there are different flavors. So should I do the whole thing? Should I do it one layer at a time?
Just
I
do
think-
it.
I think
if
you
you
should
do it
do-
one layer at a time, you're not going to get through it because
No,
it's gross.
You can do the whole thing, but then I would recommend doing it separately later.
Okay,
gotta house
okay,
it.
all right. So we're doing the whole thing. I've not had this
Gotta
since
house
I was
it.
a child.
Keep in mind, this is a person that like takes a dropper and puts like stevia in her drinks, so she doesn't have real sugar ever.
What we're saying is she's going to be off the fucking wall later.
It's actually creamier than I was expecting.
Take the wet part off and it's even
Ugh.
better.
That's like the worst term you could have possibly just... Ugh. It's creamy.
It's got a creamy flavor,
Ugh.
Beth, and then
You've
All
got
right,
a
so
creamy
now-
flavor.
so
Nope,
supposedly-
nope,
so-
regret
so
saying
the-
that.
these supposedly taste different. Our little pumpkins taste different, supposedly. Let's. And wait, do you like these more than the candy corn? What's the different flavor I should be sensing? Right, let me cleanse my palate. All right, so we're going for the candy pumpkin
It's
now.
just pure sugar in block form.
So we've got a nice waxy
Oh yeah, that's always...
mouthfeel
You always
as
want
well.
wax in your food. Ugh. Are you like...
It's a thing.
Ugh.
She's like disgusted for me.
I just... nah. Which is like the embodiment of a Tim Curry noise.
Well, now you guys have to have some of this Starbucks latte. We'll get all the fall flavors in today.
That'll have, man. 1, it's not the end of the world. 2,
That's not the end of the world either.
Yes,
Relax.
those will make me gag.
Oh my god.
The one candy that will actually make me gag is Twizzlers or Red Vines. I will actually
I
get
can
sick.
have like one.
See, like this to me, it's like
The prepackaged ones don't taste the same as when
it's
they make
coffee
it.
with. No, I've had it real live,
Oh
whatever.
my god, there's so much sweetness going
Well,
on.
I used to work at
But, like,
Starbucks,
this-
and the
this
syrup
tastes
is
like-
really thick. That's why the syrup.
To me, it tastes like I should be drinking a cinnamon coffee, but then there's some gross aftertaste, and then I realize, oh, it's pumpkin.
Because I like
Oh, that's
pumpkin.
terrible.
I like
I don't like
pumpkin
that
coffee. I like the Dunkin' Donuts
thing.
pumpkin coffee.
I like the one I make at home.
That's fine. Like it's a nothing thing. But when you get it like in the latte, it's this really thick nasty syrup. I know because I used to make them.
I can't see. Do we
wash
have
it down
any
with
comments or
this
people just
sweet
watching?
cider.
I know,
No,
right?
People just watching so far.
All right, so it is now that we've had our drink, we've had our candy corn. It's time to nerd rage. So.
Right.
We're going to start off with a hot topic this week because we have the Stanley LA Comic-Con happening this week.
Which we will be there.
We will be there, yes.
Hot topic is not hot topic.
It's not.
But I am an adult human who's been in a hot topic this week, so that tells you something about me.
So the big thing is no gun props for cosplayers, and it's a big to do. Everybody's
is.
freaking out, and we have feelings about that, don't we, Chris?
We do. My feeling is that, okay, the weapons check, well, this whole thing started in Arizona, right?
Right.
Is that correct? Okay, where...
It started at the Phoenix Comic Con where they found a guy who had a real
Speaking a
gun.
little closer
Right.
to
But
the
the whole
ear.
point is that the system worked. They found the guy with the
They
real
found the
gun.
guy. Yes, the system worked. And so I feel like if they're doing their jobs properly with the weapons check, then everything should be fine. But
Of course,
I
there's something
also
to get
don't
through.
think there's...
We're not trying to minimize like,
Right.
mass shootings or people who
But the
commit
level of
public events,
outrage that I am seeing from cosplayers who don't want to obey by these rules, I think is also a little ridiculous because I get you guys spend a ton of time on your costumes, and I think that that's really awesome and it's special, but I don't want to also risk my safety because you want to bring a prop gun in because otherwise your costume's incomplete.
Because also, if
It's
I'm also my other thing is, and I'll probably get a lot of fucking. I don't care at me. But like seriously, like when I'm looking at a costume that like I want to make or a costume that I admire, like whether or not you had the gun is like the last thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at every other detail on the costume that you made. Like as far as I'm concerned, like the gun is an accessory. It's what you use on you know what I'm saying, like even like a character, like if somebody was I'm ignoring what just happened.
I'm listening.
We are listening.
Like let's say for example someone is going as an Overwatch character, like there's tons of Overwatch skins, there's tons of ways that you can do that, there's really cool ways you can make those. Like I'm much more interested in like that you made the costume than whether or not you have Reaper's stupid guns.
Well, and I think where our nerd rage comes from is that people are
The ones that have the
doing,
candles on.
they're like straight up doing boycotts against LA
Yes.
Comic-Con. They're also doing the banana gun thing. I don't know if you guys saw this whole
Saw the
like,
banana
thing
gun
that
thing.
they're holding bananas, and like I understand it's frustrating if you've worked so hard on something, and unfortunately, which is kind of messed up in our kind of nerd society, that all of the superheroes and the cool people have weapons. Like that's very American of us.
Yes.
But like, unfortunately, we just have to stay safe. Like, it sucks. But please,
The world is what
please
it
don't
is.
be jerks about it.
Yes, and that's what I don't want to see is the jerkiness. Like I feel like it's
jerky.
I appreciate the conventions trying to keep their attendees safe. And I feel like everybody should appreciate that. Yes, it's a bummer. It's a total bummer. But this is the world we live in, where we have terrorists that are driving cars into crowds. They're opening up gunfire in concerts. Like, this is just the world as it is. And I think that, yes, the weapons check should be doing their job diligently. But also, if something slips through, who's going to get the blame? And that's the con. You know?
And also,
And so
people
they're
get
protecting
hurt either
themselves,
way.
and people get hurt. Yeah, so that's...
So it sucks, but be superhero, guys. Help keep our cons safe.
Yes.
Done.
Public service announcement.
Yes. All right. So now to get into another, unless anybody else has anything to say on that topic,
Anything to say?
No.
we can always go back to
Like
it.
I don't
Nobody.
know. Be
All right.
not children.
Be not children. Be not children. We must draw the line here and no further. All right. Anyways, Kickstarters. So we have a little nerd rage about Kickstarters and
On several different levels.
on several levels. Not actual Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you're doing good. Good game, guys. but
up the good work,
people
guys.
that are abusing it. So we have people that do Kickstarters, do the whole campaign goes well, but then nobody ever gets their benefits.
Yes, no rewards handed out, no updates, years go by, and personally, I have donated to 7 Kickstarters. No, I mean overall, I've donated to roughly 40-ish.
Yeah,
I think overall. But according to my records here, since
she took some notes.
2013 through 2017, there are 7 projects that have not paid out, that have all been funded successfully. And that totals, for me, $440. So I have a couple that are over 100, and the rest are all the $25 level. But all of them were physical rewards that I asked, whether it was either a trade paperback comic, or it was a variant cover, or something, a PDF even. I have never received it, and there's been no updates.
Most of mine, we tried to go through mine too. Most of mine, I asked for a PDF, and I could not tell you whether or not I got it.
I know,
don't
and
remember.
it's gotten to the point where
and
now
some
if
of
I
them I
donate,
think
I don't ask for a reward
got-
anymore, because I'm like, it's just, I'm basically throwing my money away.
There's one I was telling her I got a book in the mail a month ago, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was something, honestly, I'm shocked it got to me, because it's something that I was supposed to get the reward for last year, but I think I pledged it when I was like still living in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So
You
like
know,
I'm
and
surprised that
I'm
it
not
even
sure
got to
people
me.
just
But, like,
aren't
yeah,
anticipating,
I didn't
like-
even remember. I was like, oh god, I didn't even remember I asked for a book of this. I thought I got a PDF of it forever ago because I just forgot.
Yeah.
Like, I understand if people...
Exactly.
Twitch stopped. Well, okay, now we know that that's as long as that goes. We'll figure this out better next year.
Anyway,
So,
I don't know if people are just being overly ambitious, like when they set up their Kickstarters.
Because we get it. It's really
we
hard.
get it, yeah.
Because, like, we've all had our own Kickstarters, and we get that it can be a lot to, like,
I
send
feel
out
like
everything, but...
it's communication. That's-
Yeah, but updates
Somebody
would be
wants to
great.
teach me how to
Updates.
do Twitch. That'd be great.
Yeah. Teach me how to Twitch. Teach me how to Twitch. Anyways.
No.
You're like, no.
I like that.
All right, the other thing about Kickstarters that drive us crazy is famous people that just use it for their
Also,
projects
by the
without
way,
putting in their own money and
funded
just like...
Kickstarters and people who do it repeatedly, that's uncool. Like, their Kickstarters get funded, no rewards get sent out, and then they run a second one and a third one.
Oh, you're right.
And they're
Okay.
collecting, like,
Yeah, we're not saying you
15 to
can't run more than
20K.
one Kickstarter.
No,
We're saying
but,
you
like,
have to fucking...
fulfill your rewards for
Do
your
what you
first
say you
one. Don't be
won't
doing
do.
3 and like bringing in, you know, $30,000 to $50,000 and just ripping people off left and right. Like there's a couple
look at this
people
nerd
out
rage.
there.
Look at this nerd rage.
Swear to God, where I see a new Kickstarter popping up and I'm like, what about the last 2?
Come on, bruh.
I get really angry
Get it
over
together.
that. Like don't abuse it. Don't abuse the platform. Okay, now famous people.
Yes, famous
run
people.
Kickstarters.
Another way of abusing Kickstarters is straight up famous people who, like, we get it if you're like, man, I'm putting in $500K of my own money and I just need that last, like,
Yes, I
whatever.
need help.
I get that. But if you're just a superstar who's just like, hey, so I want to do this thing but don't feel like, you know, pitching it anywhere, can you guys just, like, do that for me?
Zach
That'd be
Braff.
great.
Zach Braff.
It's very frustrating. Again, abusing the system and abusing us nerds. Because, yes, we want all the things you can give us, but I don't know.
I know. I feel like if you can fund it yourself, then you should fund it yourself. Don't be like, oh, Kickstarter, even though I have the money, I'm going to take it from all of you
Yeah.
suckers instead. You know, I don't like that either.
No,
But
just
on the other hand, we have seen like the Kickstarter for something where remember we were talking about this yesterday, like Archie, and how it got that backlash because they're like, Archie should be able to fund its own comics. Why are they doing a Kickstarter? And the reality of the situation is Archie really doesn't have the money to do that.
maybe
Yeah.
now they have the
Maybe
Riverdale
now.
money, but at the
Yeah,
time...
At the time, they did not.
At the time they didn't, but that's the thing that like people within the comics industry knew the reality of, but fans didn't, and it got this huge backlash and they had to take it down. But there's other independent publishers that like independent publishers, but like they're owned by big six publishers, and they kickstart their season every season, and nobody says boo about
nobody
that
says it.
because there's this view that they're so special and precious and independent, and we need to support them. But like, I don't know. There's just certain aspects in which I think, you know, Kickstarter becomes a mob.
Yes.
It
It's like
becomes a
an
mob
abuse.
based on like perception
And
rather than
GoFundMe is the
rather
same
than
thing.
the
We're
reality
just-
of a project.
Just
Like,
crowdfunding in general we're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
obviously there's
Yeah.
problems on all the crowdfunding sites, but it's frustrating. I know that. Oh, by the way, we are drinking out of Continental Hotel John Wick glasses as well. What? So cool. Sorry. Nerd out about that for a minute. Okay, now one of my favorite things to nerd rage about is hate watching. So, for example, everybody flipped out over the Walking Dead season premiere because it was atrocious. But why are you still watching it?
I'm a Henry fan. Why are you still watching Star Trek Discovery?
Listen, I'm watching it. I'm trying to like it. I get it. It's just not Star Trek, but I want it to be Star Trek. My nerd, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it like it's a sci-fi. I'm not gonna think about Star Trek. It's fine. It's not Star Trek. It's fine. But then they try to put in Star Trek stuff into it. I'm like, you're not Star Trek. Little disco shirt. Shut your mouth. Okay, but back to Walking Dead.
Walking Dead viewership is down 33%. Because
I feel every season, everybody's like, "This is terrible.
This is stupid. I hate it. They're killing off everybody else."
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
I
haven't watched it in years.
I like half the first season. I don't get the zombie thing. It doesn't do anything for me.
Don't.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like, as a cultural phenomenon, like, it doesn't do anything for me. So the show didn't do anything for me.
That's
just
fine.
like, I've read the comic and it doesn't do anything for me.
Zombies and vampires represent two different things in society, and when those types of movies or that type of genre comes up again, it's very, indicative to what's going on in society. I think the zombieism is consumerism in a society, and I can't remember what the vampire is. If it's just violence.
It sounds like someone's grad thesis.
I'm sure
it's a real
somebody's
thing.
sucking the energy out of you.
Yeah, there's something. But
daily basis.
But yeah, Walking Dead, I gave up on, I want to say it was like third season when the writing was just so atrocious. I feel like the first 2 episodes I was just like, no, I'm done. No, I can't. I like my Sundays. I'm not wasting it on this.
I gave up watching Walking Dead after they killed the blonde girl. I can't remember what her name was.
Oh, yeah.
So long ago.
That looked Claire.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's when I was definitely still living in Brooklyn when it happened.
And it's getting to the point where, it's like the Game of Thrones thing where they were killing off everybody, and you're just like, this has to stop because everything sucks.
Well, and also it became abundantly clear who they were about to kill off because all of a sudden something super nice happened to them, or like they were super awesome
happy.
That show, and like you hear the music, you're like, no.
Yep, you're like, well, that's it.
Well,
so just don't get attached to anybody.
And in some ways, I feel like, and I understand like it deviated from the comic book, but even before that, and when Game of Thrones was getting very popular, I feel like they tried to go Game of Thrones-esque of like the murders, but it didn't have the same weight as like Game of Thrones did.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
they just didn't write it well.
Could be.
But yeah, hate watching, and I get it because like I do. I watch Discovery as soon as it's available, and I get so mad, and like I don't want to. Like I don't want to be so mad at the show.
The thing is that I feel like everybody hate watches for different reasons.
Yes.
Okay, now there is no less than 5 shows that I watch.
You have 5 hate shows?
5 hate watch shows.
What?
Yes.
What are those shows?
Arrow.
You still watch it? Why?
See, I don't know. I don't know.
Bad. Oh my god.
I don't know why I watch it.
Oh,
I complain about it every week, and then I watch it again, and I'm like, and yes. Okay.
All right, so that's number 1.
Okay,
What's number 2?
That's like honestly, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit the rest of these because they're not nerd shows, and everyone is going to be like, "Oh my god, you're the one that's watching that still." And
tell me what it is.
Okay, it's Grey's Anatomy.
No, what? No, that shit was on when I was on tour, like at the beginning of 2000s. What is going on?
It's embarrassing. I used to watch it with my mom and my grandma, like way back when, and I guess it's like nostalgic for me.
That's okay. All right,
fine.
so
You're just avoiding telling us the rest of them.
Yeah, no, you're good. Okay, keep going.
I know
there's 5.
All right,
I know one of them.
Yes, and then Scandal's the other one, which I talked about last week.
Yes,
because she became a bitch, and now I still watch because it's last season. I have to know what happens.
Yeah, you gotta
whatever.
know.
Gotta wrap it up. And
Somebody commented.
I don't watch Young Sheldon, by the way, Brandon.
Brandon.
No one watches that show.
Brandon just likes making Young Sheldon jokes, so
that would be severely embarrassing.
Yeah, see, they're not.
Okay, I'm also hate watching Ray Donovan right now because the season got really shitty, and even Marcus stopped watching it, but I'm still watching it without him because I don't know why.
Okay, I feel like there's one left.
There is one
Yes,
left.
there is one left.
It's Dancing with the Stars.
It is.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be Dancing with the Stars.
And I try to avoid it, and I took it off my DVR.
You're like an addict. Like I threw it all out of the plot, like, out of the cupboard.
I read the story about, like, Frankie Muniz and how he's on there and, like, how he doesn't remember any of, like, his childhood because he had a stroke and, like, nothing about being on Malcolm in the Middle. And I was like, what? And, of course, then I'm like, oh, it's on. Let's just turn it on and watch.
Okay, because that sounds a little bit... So there's a difference between guilty pleasures and hate watching, though.
It's no.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like, I
there
feel like...
kind of is, because there's
I don't
definitely
consider it a
things...
guilty pleasure. I
There's
don't
definitely
enjoy
things
watching
I've
it.
Oh, okay. Well, like, there's shows that I watch that I feel dirty because I'm like, but I still kind of want to watch it. Like, admittedly, I have not watched all of Vampire Diaries, but I watched too much of Vampire Diaries.
Ooh.
Too much.
I have a lot of
Okay.
shows like that. I watched
Yeah,
like
that's
most
like
of,
guilty pleasure
I watched like
versus hate
most
watching.
of Heart of Dixie.
I've got one. Is
Sorry.
Does anyone watch the
excuse me.
Hallmark Channel?
1 second.
No.
Husband, you're at work. Stop commenting on this video.
We appreciate your support, Brandon. Thank you.
No, on Netflix I caught this show called The Good Witch, and it's on the Hallmark Channel.
And
I'm like, I watched 3 episodes, hooked. Hooked, and it's so dumb.
It
and
keeps
I'm like,
showing up
I
on my
love
Netflix
this.
queue as something I would like, and I'm just like, I'm not getting
Guys,
that.
don't get involved. Don't get involved.
Yeah,
It was
let
such
us
a
Fall down
win.
that hole.
Let us know what you guys watch for your either guilty pleasure or hate watch.
I mean, I have plenty of holes you should fall down, but that's not one of them.
Yeah, I have some pretty bad ones. Yeah, I would say, like, the ones that I'm most embarrassed about is and then the spin-off originals, the spin-off to Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Wow, really? See,
I'm
my
sorry,
guilty
me and
pleasure
vampires
used to be
love it.
Gossip Girl, but that was a guilty pleasure, and I was
Yeah,
also
yeah.
like, what, 10 years ago or something?
Yeah.
I finally watched Riverdale, guys. I'm in. That is a good guilty pleasure.
I know.
I'm all about that.
I
That's
still
a good
haven't
one.
started.
Yeah.
I still haven't started because
You
every
will
time I
fall.
look, I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be what I do now.
Yeah,
I don't
straight up.
have
Yeah,
time.
you fall into it. You fall into it for sure.
Oh, babe, you lost your mind a while ago. Sorry.
Oh.
All right, so speaking of hate watching, has anybody been watching Inhumans? Because, good God, Lemon,
That one's terrible.
that is terrible.
Sorry, guys.
Full disclosure,
Sorry.
Rue and I just watched the first 15 minutes of it
That's
like
all
an
you
hour
need.
ago, and we were
That's
just
all-
like, we're good.
Yeah, I'm like,
I watched the
that's
first
good.
episode and I stopped.
Because right away, right? So you're just, as soon as it opens, I'm like, this feels like either a very poorly made fan like project or like a preteen action movie like Spy Kids. You know what I mean? Like
Spy
that
Kids is
flavor.
actually very
okay.
good.
just the color palette and the, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like just
As is
just
Sky
the
High.
look.
Didn't that have Frankie Muniz?
Sky High is actually
Sky High is
I saw
also
that
very
one.
good.
Not gonna lie, another guilty pleasure. There's like anyways. So basically we watched the first 15 minutes of Inhumans where just the wig, man, the wig.
Medusa's wig. Yeah.
You got some
It was
money.
pretty bad.
Like,
It was like she had like no forehead, and also that girl, she like plays one of my favorite characters on Ballers. She plays like The Rock's girlfriend, and it like broke my heart to see her in that wig, just like being weird. And I was like, oh, like the, you know, she could have punched people out with her fists. Why does she need to use her hair?
That's her power.
I know it's her power,
It's
but
a-
can't they make something better with it? Like,
I mean, it's one of those things where like they're kind of trapped by what Medusa's power is. However, I think both with her and with Black Bolt,
okay,
there
they're
are
like
things that
5 episodes in, right?
I don't know.
I think
Four.
they're 4 episodes
Four.
in.
I don't know, but
3
when
or
I was
4.
watching, I think
All
that but with both Medusa and Black Bolt, they are both really, they come across very scary, very powerful, very interesting on the comic book page, and when you translate that into the visual, like it doesn't
Well,
work. It's
so-
just not as compelling. It's one of those times where it works in comics and it doesn't work on
Right.
in live.
that does
doesn't work.
make sense.
That's my mom. She
Yeah.
agrees. The
Yeah,
Indians are
it's-
terrible.
it's-
Well, I mean, how many
terrible.
episodes in? Like, because I'm only 1 episode in, and I stopped watching.
It's just
but
painful.
I would love to know if people watched
Yeah.
more than 1 episode and if it got any better.
Not
Well-
from what the internet tells me.
Yeah,
so
I
then
know,
in comparison,
exactly.
because like both Marvel TV shows, and we have The Gifted, which we watched the first 15 minutes of, and it's
I've
like
watched all those
straight in.
episodes.
You're just like, yep, this is awesome.
That one's fantastic. It's real
better
world.
made.
and
Now,
it's good acting.
do we feel this is a problem of just who's making it, or do we feel it's a problem of one has to stay very true to a IP versus another? Because the good idea that they had with The Gifted, which I'm all about because I'm such a huge X-Men fan, I remember when they first started talking about doing even the first movie, I was like, that's a terrible idea. Like, there's too much history. The nerds will get so angry. I will get angry. I will, and I did.
I don't know. You know, I think
You want to talk X3? Want to talk X3?
Don't talk X3!
No, I think with Inhumans they're hindered by the fact that they built all the Inhuman lore up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so now they have to match Inhumans tonally and visually to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which people also aren't crazy about.
Mm-hmm. That's another one that people are hate watching.
Yeah, so like
can't.
it's a thing where like they're building the two of these into a universe, but neither of them are being done well, and it's too late to go back and like suddenly do them differently.
I don't know. I think it's just we're obviously two tonally different shows, but
I mean they're
one
not,
is just
though.
like that's what I'm saying. Like they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be.
They're not totally different, though.
He doesn't want you talking smack about Spy Kids. I didn't tell you that.
Yeah, I ignored him. I know when to ignore him.
I'll talk to you about Spy. I just haven't seen Spy Kids. To be fair,
It's actually really good.
It's actually very good.
to be fair,
Yeah.
Danny Trejo is in it
Yeah, it's
for some reason.
isn't like Antonio Banderas?
Yes, Antonio Banderas is the dad.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Danny Trejo is their
might watch it for
uncle.
some.
Yep.
It's very good, actually.
All right,
all
okay.
right.
But I just meant visually.
I know,
It looked
I
like
know.
it. Or
We
like
know.
what is that? What was the premiere? I don't know. Never mind. We're going down a hole. Yes.
That's all this show is going down a hole. That's all this
That's
show
all we
is.
do is go down a hole.
Injectors, yeah, for sure.
That's what he said.
Oh, Cheech is in it too. Cheech Marin is also in it.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Okay, I'll check it
okay.
out.
And it exists in the same universe as Machete. I did know that.
Does it really?
Yes, it does.
No.
It does.
Spy Kids?
That I
In
did
the
not
same
know.
universe?
That is a very.
They made like
Very good.
Machete?
they made like a sly joke about it at some point. Like it's not like
Interesting.
canon, but
Yeah,
it's
didn't I just see what's his face? He's also going to be in Flash.
maybe.
Machete guy. What is his name?
Danny Trejo.
Yes, Danny Trejo.
He's gonna be on Flash.
Yep.
I
That'll
just
pull
saw.
me out. That's gonna pull me
That
out.
pulled me out.
Yes, I
He
know
said me
Machete
out.
is the uncle of Spy Kids. That's what I said.
Oh, he's the uncle of the Spy Kids.
Yeah, he's the uncle of the Spy. That's why Danny Trejo's in it. It's
freaking
Machete,
love
and he's
that, by
the
the way.
uncle of the
Well
Spy
played.
Kids.
I love
Well
that.
played.
That
Yeah.
is a great Easter egg. I love that.
All right, so do we have anything more to rage about? Does anybody have anything before we do our
What
rave? Yeah, no,
We're
yo,
Yeah.
let's rave. So you have something to rave about, and I have something to rave about.
we do.
You rave on.
Okay, I'll go first.
Madame. Rave on. I'm
Okay,
gonna drink the
so
whiskey.
I am super excited to find out about Cobra Kai coming out on YouTube Red.
I know she is, because she read the entire description to me yesterday, like hoping with every line, looking at me hoping with every line I would
She
give a
didn't
shit.
care. She totally did not give a shit.
By the end of the script, I went, yeah, okay, I'm totally in.
See, she gave me the
I'm-
reaction I wanted.
I'm
Okay.
totally in that.
I was just like, oh
I
god.
love me
So
some
it's a
Karate Kid
10-episode
growing up.
series coming out in 2018.
I think I bailed on the part where he was like the owner of the largest car
Daniel
dealership.
is an owner of the largest car dealership in Van Nuys, which is Keys. No, I don't know if it's
Keys on
But
Van Nuys. Okay,
and
sorry.
then his nemesis from before, Johnny, is a alcoholic. He's an alcoholic who
course he is.
has a stepfather played by Ed Asner, who is constantly riding his ass and making him feel bad about himself. And so he, I guess, bumps into Daniel, who is still suffering from the loss of Mr. Miyagi, but yet trying to move on with his wife.
It's all the original cast, too.
Yeah,
by the way.
all original cast, and of
original
course,
cast.
Johnny needs to go open up his Cobra Kai community thing again and get down, and things go from there, which I'm super excited about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might be the only one, but I don't care. But I feel like
I'm sure
people
there are
are
other
in.
people that are excited.
Now,
it's
is
just
this-
not
feel
me.
like
Is
people
this
are in.
the first of an official YouTube Red
Yes.
storyline coming out? That'll be interesting
Yes.
to see, because personally I refuse to pay money for YouTube.
These ones look enticing, but I know if
Do
I
it.
put them in my
Do
mouth,
it.
they're
Put
gross.
it in your mouth. Do it.
No,
Put a
I'm
pumpkin
going
in
to
your
take one of
mouth.
the autumn ones.
Yeah, what is the
Because
autumn
it doesn't
one?
have
Chocolate.
The chocolate.
it doesn't have
All
the
right,
white part she
so-
doesn't like.
It is. You could taste it. It's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
Wait, nope. What?
Okay, wait.
Somebody
What
said
were you
nope,
gonna
but I don't know what it is in response.
Okay.
To. Sorry. Whatever.
Oh,
Oh, is it the candy corn? Because you're right. It is
Yeah.
gross.
do? The chocolate
Okay,
one's
so
good.
what I want to rave about is there's this article that just came out that I don't know if y'all have watched it, but there is such a thing called the Star Wars Christmas Special.
Everybody knows.
Oh, it's so good.
No one knows about it. No one likes it.
I think one reason I love it
terrible.
is because George Lucas likes to pretend it doesn't exist. It's like a thorn in his side that he can't get rid of because it's on YouTube. Like, you can watch it at any point. It's so wonderfully, deliciously, like, weird and awkward and just, like, it's fantastic. I love it. But one of the scenes is B. Arthur plays this singing barista, like, or bartender at, like, this cantina-esque bar. And it seems that in the universe, she is now officially canon as a lesbian with this wife, I can't remember her name, but like she's officially canon in the Star Wars universe because of she was added in to a short story or a book or something.
Oh, was it the new collection that just came out of stories?
Yes. So not only
Stories
is
from
she
another
canon,
galaxy
but
or
like
something?
we got ourselves like a LGBTQ like character in the Star Wars. Yeah. But yes, so that's
Unfortunately, it came from the Christmas special.
hey.
We already
It's
have Dr.
amazing. I
Aphra.
watch it every year. Watch that shit.
Beerista.
Yeah,
Well
oh
done,
god,
Brandon.
I was ignoring that.
Yes, Leslie, we found candy
Found
corns.
candy corns.
Found.
Yeah,
They're
Alice,
literally everywhere.
There was
Come
none
on.
at Ralph's.
Also, we
Come on,
already
just
have
put
we
one
already
in.
have Dr. Afra, and she's super gay. And
That's
I love
true.
her.
That's pretty great. But I really do think you should try one of these. Or actually, they are better than those. Do it.
The chocolate.
You hand me this, I'm gonna go walk over there and dump them all in the
Try
trash.
the chocolate one. It's really good.
Okay. All right. I'm trying a chocolate dipped candy corn. I am going to be off the wall.
It's not okay.
It's
I think
chocolate.
it's just chocolate sugar flavor.
You're right though, because it's only orange and it does taste different.
It's chocolate.
All right.
And that's it. All right, guys.
All right, unless you guys have something for us to rave about or rage about, I think that concludes our
Yep.
October Nerd Rages
That's
on Whiskey
right.
Wednesday.
So until next
Trash
week
candy.
in November.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Be safe.
Yes. Be safe.
I mean, have fun. Be safe. I don't know. I'm everybody's mom. Don't worry about it. All right.
Yeah, they're
Okay, you got it?